Hello everyone, this is Siddharth, and in this video we will be solving another question from the list that I have shared in the starting of this playlist. So if you don't know what we are doing in this playlist, we are solving those questions only which will help us to build pattern so that we can able to retain the concepts and the method and the process that we are using those in these questions so that we can able to solve other questions which are related to these concepts without any difficulties. So if you will try to solve from the hash one question, then you can able to solve multiple questions which are related to the concept in that question. And also the concept that we have used in the first question are we will be constantly using that in the upcoming question as well, so that you can become familiar to those methods and process multiple times, so that they will become like you can able to memorize all of them. So now let's move on to this question. So obviously this is currently we are on two pointer approach. So this question we also like we will be using a concept, and that will not going to be the heart of question but a part of question. So let's move on. So we have given an array, and we have to swap or flip this array multiple times, uh, so that we can able to reach the condition where this array will become sorted. And how we will be doing that, let me make you understand the question statement first. So this the array is it 3 2 4 1. So array is 3 comma 2 comma 4 comma 1. So this is the array that we have given. Now what we have to do, uh, and also we have to return the values of k into an array, list of list, not list of list, just list. So suppose we have taken the value k as 3. So what we have to do, what is the significance of this is that we have to take these three element and we have to flip that. How we can do that? We can swap 4 and 3, and 2 will be remain at its place. Now our array will become this. And then if we have taken the value of suppose we have taken the value k as 4, now we will swap these two, so our array will become 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. So this is the condition that we have to reach, like after taking multiple value of case. So this is what we have to do. Now let's discuss the approach that we will be using. So first what we can do, we can find the largest index. So what is the intuition behind it? Because this last element will always be in the last, in the sorted array. So now what we can do, after finding the index of this last element, we can swap it with the starting element. That's what we have done here also. And then we will reverse the array. First we will flip the array from here, and then we will again flip the array from here. So what it does, it will move this 4 element first to here and then to here. So now our array will become 4, then this will going to be 2, and then this will going to be 1, and this will going to be 3. So this is what we have to do. Now here it will become it is sorted already, but in other situation it will not going to be there. So now what we will do, uh, we will decrement the size of our effective array, because this element is already in its correct position. Now in the remaining array we will again find the largest element, that will going to be 3 here. Now again we will swap this with the first element, and also we have to check that if this the current element that we are on, it is, if it is at the right position, then we don't have to do anything, we just have to move further in a loop. So and now like let's take another situation where this is not at the correct position. Now what we will do, we will again search in the remaining elements which is the maximum index, or which is the element which is maximum, and we have to find the maximum index of that, or the index of that element. So after finding that, we will again swap it with the starting element. Up to the starting element we will flip the array, not swap, sorry for that. After flipping this, again we will flip the array up from the last element. So this will ensure that the maximum element that we have find, it should be like moved to the end of the array. Now again we will decrement the effective array size, so that will going to be 1 comma 2 only. So we have to move until we have reached only one single element in the effective array. So this is the concept that we will be using. So if you don't if you haven't got it now, after coding it out you can able to like get it what we want to do here. So first what we have to do, we have to find the element which is maximum in the current subarray. So how we can do that, uh, we can start and for loop that will be like that will be starting from the last element. So int I is equals to, let's like define the size of this array as well, so that we don't have to calculate array dot length again and again. So n will going to be array dot length. Now this will be starting from the value of n minus 1, and then this I should always be greater than 0, and then I plus plus. Now what we have to do after doing this, now in this given array, because in the first iteration we are like taking the whole array as an sub array. So now what we have to do, we have to find the element in this given sub array or the full array which is the greatest one. So how we can do that, we can do like this. So int minimum index, sorry, maximum index, and that will going to be find maximum uh, find maximum element in array. In sub array we can take, that will going to be the correct word. Now what we have to do, we have to pass our current array, and then we have to pass the ending index. So ending index will going to be I itself. So this method should return, we will left the work for this method, so that this method will be returning us the index value, that will going to be the index of the greatest element in this subarray. So now let's define this function as well. So public, so the return type will be int, you can like think from here. Now we have to define the name, so that will going to be find max element in sub array. And now we have to pass an array into that, and then int ending index. Now in this what we have to do, we have to move for int I is equals to 0, I should be less than this ending index, and equals to, because we are passing the exact value, because here we have taken I as n minus 1, so we don't have to like do just less than, we can take up to equal value. Otherwise if we take this as an n, then we have to take only less than, because then index out of bound error will come. So now I plus plus. And now after this what we have to do, let's define the minimum value. So int maximum index, now let's define it as 0, and let's return that as well. So in max, returning maximum index from here. And now we just have to find this. So how we can do that, simply we have to apply in condition if the element which is at the uh, ith index, if that is greater than the element which is at the max index. Okay, so the max index we have taken as 0, so we will be like checking from the first element itself. So after comparing this, if they are greater, if the element is greater than the element which is present at the maximum index, that will going to be 0 in the first case. If that is the case, then we just have to update the element. How we can do that, so maximum index is equals to I. So this will give us the max, this will update our maximum index in each iteration after finding an element which is greater than a element which is at the maximum index in the start. So after we have returned this maximum index to here, now what we have to check, we have to check if this element that we have is the index that we have find, if the element that is present here, if it already it on its right position. If that this is the case, then we just have to move into our for loop. We don't have to do anything. So for that we can do like this: if this maximum index is equals to I, if this is the case, then we just have to continue in the loop, because this is at the right position and we don't have to do anything. Now if this is not equal, then what we have to do, we just have to check for this that maximum index should be greater than 0. And uh, now what we have to do, we have to flip this array first, so that we can get our highest element in the start of the array. So for that we can pass a function, we can define a function. So flip array from, let's name it correctly, from the start, or like flip array, we can correctly take flip array, and then we will be passing our current array, and the index will going to be our maximum index plus 1. So because we have to take all the element up to maximum index, now we have to make an result array as well, a result list as well, where we have to return, we have to include this maximum index plus 1, because this is the k value, because we are flipping it, so we have to count this case. So for that we can define and the k value, int k is equals to, oh sorry, this will going to be list integer, and let's name it as result is equal to new array list. Okay, after defining this we can add this value, so result dot add maximum index plus 1. Okay, as the indexing we have to take, no, we don't have to take 0, otherwise we can like add maximum index. So we are adding 1 so that we don't have to consider 0 based indexing. Now after doing this, we have to like again flip. After flipping here, we have to again flip it, so that we can move this highest element to the end of the array, because in the first iteration this 4 will come to the place of 3. Now we have to move 4, uh, to the last position. So, and in this condition we have like this 4 is already at its correct position, so this will not going to be happening here. So if you will take another situation where this is not at the right position, then we have to do that. So like suppose if 4 is here, so then first we have to swap 4 from 3, then we have to swap the array from the start to the length of this array. So now we have to again call this method flip array, and then we have to pass our array and then size, oh sorry, I value. Okay, and now we have to add this as well, so result dot add I. So this is also another k value. Now let's define this function as well. So public, this will going to be void data type, because we are just updating the array. So we have taken the name as flip array, and we have to take an array here as well, and the int ending index. Now here we have to use the two pointer approach. So I had already told you that this will going to be the part of the question, not heart of the question. So int left, we will be starting from 0, and then end will be this k value we are getting is equals to this end, or we can take it as k, and we can do like this k minus 1. Okay, while this left is less than or equals to end, or so this will going to be left should be less than end, and now we just have to swap the array. So for that we can define another function. So public, this will going to be void data type also. To swap, we are taking an array and then two index, int a and int b. Now let's define the temp array. So this is the standard method. Now we are storing the value of a, then value of b in a, and then value of a in b. So this is the standard method. So first we have to call this here. So swap and now we have to pass the current array and the left index and the right index. So after doing this, we have to increment and decrement the counter. So left plus plus and end minus minus. So after doing this, this will update our array, and then in the last we just have to return our result array list. So return result. So if this maximum index is equals to I, that we are continuing. If this is greater than 0, now let's try to run this. Okay guys, so the issue is first we are like incrementing the value, which is not the case. We have to decrement the value because we are starting from the end. And now let's try to run. Okay, so output is 331. Okay, this should be I plus 1 because this I is having zero base indexing, and we don't have to do that. Now we can try to run. That's why the error is coming. Okay, now let's try to submit it as well. So we have successfully solved this question. See you in the next video. Bye.